Welcome to Good Morning ASEAN. Freshen up your world, your thought, your idea with us every day, Monday to Friday. I'm here with you, Nirasha Malisaklami.
And I'm Weena Jongprasid. It's Friday, the 7th of June, and today Nirasha will conclude the last day of the World Economic Forum being held in Myanmar, as the president of Myanmar, Aung San, has expressed his commitment to reform the nation's economy away from centralized government model to one based on free markets. He promised that the government will not waver on this task. He emphasized the need to cooperate with ASEAN nations, in particular, given Myanmar's assumption of the role of ASEAN chair in 2014. Prime Minister Nguyen Thanh Dung of Vietnam also expressed his nation's commitment to regional cooperation and noted the urgency for vigorous action to achieve ASEAN integration goals. In addition to regional cooperation, the Prime Minister noted the opportunities for special collaboration among inland ASEAN states by stimulating growth through greater connectivity, building roads and easing the flow of goods through the region, and especially along the East-West Economic Corridor, could promote economic growth. Meanwhile, Laos has also experienced rapid economic growth recently, due in part to trade facilitation and regional economic integration. This growth has led to marked declines in household poverty rates.
And at the World Economic Forum, Aung San Suu Kyi, the Myanmar opposition leader, said yesterday that her intentions to run for the presidency, as she set her sight on election due to be held in 2015. Addressing world leaders and heads of business at a major forum in the capital Naypyidaw, the Nobel Peace Laureate called for the amendment of the military-drafted constitution, which prevents her from leading the country. She told delegates at the World Economic Forum on East Asia that she wants to run for president, and she's quite frank about it. A major hurdle to her presidential ambitions is the current constitution, which blocks anyone whose spouses or children are overseas citizens from leading the country. Suu Kyi, who has two sons with her late husband Michael Aris, are British, and the clause is widely believed to be targeted at her. With President Thein Sein's quasi-civilian government that has surprised the world since coming to power 2 years ago, with dramatic political and economic changes that have led to the lifting of most Western sanctions. Hundreds of political prisoners have been freed. Democracy champion Suu Kyi has been welcomed into a new parliament, and tentative ceasefires have been reached in the country's multiple ethnic civil wars. Suu Kyi, who was herself locked up by the former junta for a total of 15 years, remain hugely popular in Myanmar, and her National League for Democracy Party is widely expected to win the elections if they are free and fair. However, Myanmar is still facing many problems, such as the Rohingya issue, and Suu Kyi herself was criticized that she has not done enough for the Rohingya. She reiterated her position that the rule of law must prevail, and that means investigating whether the people accorded citizenship under the 1982 citizenship law have indeed been granted citizenship. She also called for a re-examination of the law to ensure it complies with international norms. The wide-ranging debate touched on many aspects of what is happening in Myanmar politically, socially, and economically, including the issue of political prisoners, holding accountable those who misrule the country and committed illegal acts, and ensuring that the fruits of reforms are shared with everyone, particularly the 70% of the population who live in the countryside. Despite the problem, the overwhelming majority of the 400 or so participants in the session indicate that they are still optimistic about where the country is headed.
And our reporter Onravee Tangmeesang, who's there at the World Economic Forum, has interviewed Ms. Suu Kyi on her ambitions to become the president of Myanmar.
Hi, my name is Natty. I'm from Nation, Thailand. Two quick questions. The first one is, Myanmar has both political and economic problems. If you were the president, which one would be your main focus? And the second problem, the second question would be, by the time of the next election, you would be 70, if I'm correct, and we're a national democracy icon. have you ever thought about Myanmar without infrastructure? What would it be like? Thank you.
To answer the first question, I do not think you can separate the two. You really cannot divorce political development from economic development. In fact, there are those who say that economic growth and development are a result of political change and not something that is separate. So I think these have to go in tandem, and you have to find the right mix. Burma has existed very well without me in the past, and I'm sure it will go on existing well without me in the future when the time comes.
Well, moving on, the Laos-Myanmar Friendship Bridge is currently 8% complete after its construction commenced in February. The project is running on schedule despite delays forced upon work crews by the weather and machinery and equipment issues at the site. Project manager Sai Songkham Manotham told VNTN Times yesterday. At present, works are concentrated on building the bridge foundations and the land bridge road connections, he said. The bridge will be 691 meters in length and 12 meters wide and will include vehicle lanes and sidewalks linking Siang Kok River Port in Luang Nam Tha province in Laos with Kaing Glab village in Myanmar. The project will take 30 months to complete at an estimated cost of $18 million. The bridge should be officially opened to traffic in 2015. Hue Kum village is 15 kilometers north of Siang Kok village in Long district. The Myanmar side of the bridge is 500 meters south of Kaing Glab village in the Tha Ki Lek district, Shan state. The bridge will provide the first road link between the two neighboring countries and aims to boost trade, investment and tourism between Laos and Myanmar and also the whole Asean region. The bridge would be a new symbol of cooperation, relations and solidarity between peoples of the two countries. It will link Laos Road number 17E and Myanmar's National Road number 4. The bridge will also play a significant role in facilitating transport for the people of the two countries, especially in relation to commercial activities. It will enable connections with other countries in the region, especially Vietnam and China, and will allow further transport links to India and Bangladesh as well.
And in Myanmar Focus Daily today, we're going to have a look at the two sectors, which are infrastructure and constructions that are the highly potentials that for investment.
McKinsey Global Institute, the research arm of the consulting firm, has recently launched a report forecasting that Myanmar economy could quadruple to about $200 billion in 2030 from $45 billion in 2010. The country will need around $650 billion for total investment by 2030 to support growth potential. $320 billion will be for infrastructure alone. 10 million additional non-agricultural jobs will have the potential to be created by 2030. The report also highlighted the key 7 sectors that have high potential to deliver growth for the country. Those sectors are agriculture, energy and mining, manufacturing, infrastructure, tourism, financial services, and telecommunication. The top 4 sectors account for almost 85% of the total economic opportunity. Myanmar started to open licenses for foreign investors, such as in oil and gas and telecommunication sectors. Infrastructure and labor-intensive industry will also be sectors with high prospect of business opportunities.
Well, I think once we open up the countries, we need to fill up a lot of infrastructures so that the old investor can come in easily and then also can invest. So that's why I think immediately a lot of the infrastructure company or the developers, we cannot be contractors. So consultant, design, those are working very well at the moment. And then immediately there are a lot of labor-intensive industry coming, especially like garment industry, textile industry, seafood industry. Those those are, I think, working very well. And also some resource-based industry, like forestry-based, like a mining-based industry. That's going very well, and then it's just rapidly growing for the moment.
Myanmar continues to be more appealing to foreign investors after the EU reinstated the Generalized Scheme of Preferences, or GSP. Foreign investors operating businesses in Myanmar will get the privileges of the GSP as well as the local business people, especially in seafood, garment, and agriculture industry. Following the landmark visit of President Tangmeesang to the United States last month, it was positive that the U.S. might consider lifting sanctions on Myanmar in the near future. A U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell, who has spearheaded Myanmar sanctions for the past decade over human rights concerns, also supported the end of U.S. sanctions on Myanmar. Myanmar is now working to bring down business barriers and create investment friendly by relaxing restrictions in some sectors, facilitating trade, and improving infrastructure and electricity shortage. However, the top local executive urges foreign investors to care about the impact of their businesses on the country's environment and warns that investors should understand the conditions of the country and difficulties they may face in doing businesses in Myanmar. Onravee Tangmeesang for Myanmar Focus Daily.
And coming up next after the break, Timor-Leste Prime Minister has shown his intention to join and become ASEAN. Timor-Leste Prime Minister Kairala Sanana Gusmao, who is on a 5-day state visit in the Philippines, said that his country is hoping to increase his country's chances of becoming a member of ASEAN. Timor-Leste, what used to be a former Portuguese colony, is seeking membership to the regional group. Gusmao is set to visit all of the 10 member states of the ASEAN this year. He arrived in Malacanang and was welcomed by President Benigno Aquino III and members of the cabinet. In the two leaders' joint statement, Gusmao said that this visit to the Philippines is part of his effort to visit all ASEAN countries. His country is seeking membership to the ASEAN because he believes that Timor-Leste can contribute into it. Gusmao also congratulated the Philippines for its upcoming Independence Day and wished Aquino success on his trip to the World Economic Forum in Myanmar, on which will end today. Timor-Leste and the Philippines also signed 3 bilateral agreements on education, policy consultations, and infrastructure. For his part, Aquino welcomed the Timor-Leste leader and expressed support for Timor-Leste's intent to join the ASEAN.
To Vietnam, the convenience shops in Ho Chi Minh City are giving traditional markets and even supermarkets a run for their money as they become more popular with local residents. Laying the prime locations of convenience shops, often near local areas or industrial and processing zones, have also contributed to their popularity. Because of the proximity to their homes or jobs, many customers say the shops helped them save money and time. In addition, a diversity of goods can be found at the shops. The shops are especially useful in rainy weather and on days of high tides when roads may be flooded, and according to a resident in District 7, Leng Ngoc Dao, a deputy director of Ho Chi Minh's Department of Industry and Trade, said that the shops also offer vehicle parking, are cleaner than traditional markets, and require no bargaining. Some of them deliver goods to customers' doors. A trader at one supermarket, who spoke on condition of anonymity, conceded that supermarket could bring high profits, but noted that the initial investment of about 50 billion Vietnamese dong, or $2.3 million was high, and that profits came only 5 years after opening. In contrast, it takes only 2 to 4 billion Vietnamese dong, or $95,000 to $190,000 to open a convenience shop. and profits come after only 1 year. Dao said that Ho Chi Minh City authorities were encouraging companies to develop convenience shops in rural areas and limit their development in the city center. Currently, Ho Chi Minh City has about 475 convenience shops, including brands like Family Mart, B&B, Circle K, Day Night, and New Cho.
And in Urbanista today, Kun Suthapat Pathong is going to take us to a cafe situated in the middle of the city of Bangkok called Too Fast to Sleep, where it's actually designed for university students to come.
Yeah, open what, 24 hours?
24 hours, yes, to come and do their studies and also hang out. Let's have a look how they manage this kind of business.
Sadikap and welcome to Urbanista that will keep you updated with what's happening around Bangkok and the metropolises within ASEAN region, from social lives to cultural corners, and looking around to find a cool place to stay overnight in Bangkok. For both working and studying, I came across a warm atmosphere cafe that opens 24 hours. It is officially known as Too Fast to Sleep, located just right at the center of the city. On King Rama IV Road, near the entrance of MRT Samyan station, is the location of a popular library cafe, Too Fast to Sleep. With a unique architectural style, the cafe finds it easy to attract all eyes of passers-by. Cafe manager Akechai Klongarerom shared with Urbanista that the founders of the cafe would like to have a coffee shop that opens 24 hours, where office workers and college students can spend time working or doing homework as long as they want. Therefore, Too Fast to Sleep is built to cater to the needs of these groups of people. According to the manager, the two-story cafe offers 5 different zones with different styles. The dairy zone on the first floor serves fresh milk, milk tea, and now the milk-related menu. While next to it is the living room zone, where customers can enjoy a variety of Italian food in a warm atmosphere. The secret chamber is reserved for adults only, as it serves good wines from around the world. On the second floor, the cafe balcony allows visitors to spend a good time relaxing, looking outside, and reading books. The highlight would be the library zone that makes customers feel that they are in a big library surrounded by hundreds of books. The design of the coffee cafe is intended to give customers a warm library atmosphere, the manager said. They will feel like they are in a library, but they can eat, chat with friends, or even sleep overnight. Providing free internet access and power facilities, the cafe is intended to attract office workers from a lot of office buildings around the area. However, since the shop is located opposite to a university, 90% of its customers are college students. So far, the manager said that Too Fast to Sleep has gained a huge popularity and will try to improve its service in order to meet customers' demands. The cafe is now constructing a bakery zone, expecting to be able to welcome around 400 and 500 customers at a time after the completion. If you would like to spend your time in a calm atmosphere at the cafe, make sure that you don't visit the place during the busy period, which is 3 to 6 p.m. on the working days. According to the manager, the weekends are best for family time. And that's it for today's edition of Urbanista. You can follow me again every Friday. For today, thanks for joining me. I am Sathapat Pathong. We'll see you next week.
And that's wrap up our Good Morning ASEAN report for today. See you again, same time, same place, same channel.
And thank you so much for watching us. I'm Meena Jungprasit.
And I am Nirasha Malisak Lami. Have a great weekend. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ